Good morning again. It's David Thomas, archivist at the Cornwall Record Office at Truro, having a look at another of our collection of dazzling documents. On the table today we have a large volume, which is the Churchwarden's account book for the parish of Iluggan. It covers the years 1702 to 1787, about 9/10 of the 18th century. And on the specific page we've got the Churchwarden's accounts for the year 1743 on the left-hand side of the page. And on this side we have the rates for people paying money to look after and keep the church in good repair. It's the usual stuff. It's a typical 18th century Churchwarden's account book. What makes this one stand out is an entry on this page towards the bottom, and I'll read it to you. It says, "Expenses at Anne Gartrell's on driving the Methodists, 9 shillings. So they paid out that sum of money, and it's recorded actually in the parish accounts. So what is going on? There's a saying, the devil is in the detail sometimes. And in this instance, there's a much more interesting thing going on. Charles Wesley, not his more famous brother John, but nonetheless an important person, was visiting Cornwall in the summer of 1743 on a first preaching tour. And he comes to different places. He preaches in Morva, he preaches in Zenner, and he goes to St Ives and also St Just. But he also tries to preach at Poole in Iluggan. And the churchwardens of the parish get to hear about it, and they come and try and drive him out of the parish in order that he shall not preach in their parish, because services, it was believed, should only be in the church or preaching and not in public places. And we have two sides of the story here, because we've got the Churchwarden's version, but we also have a mention of the event in Charles Wesley's own diary. And I'll read his version of event. At the Pool, one stopped and demanded my letters of orders. This is one of the churchwardens. I marvelled at his ignorance, gave him my Oxford sermon, and rode on. He followed me with another gentleman and vowed I should not preach in his parish. When I began, he shouted and hallooed and put his hat to my mouth. We went to another place. He followed us like Shimei. I told him I should surely deliver my message, unless his master was stronger than mine. After much contention, I walked away with near 2,000 people, most part tinners, to the next parish, which was Camborne, as my wise churchwarden supposed. He followed us another mile, and a warm walk he had of it, but left us on the borders of the neighbouring parish. And local tradition says that after this event, the churchwarden and his mob walked back to the pub at Poole, which was kept by this lady, Anne Gartrell, and had a good drink. It's interesting that Charles Wesley refers to a warm walk he had of it. It was a July day, it was a summer day, and they needed to actually quench their thirst after this dramatic event when thousands of people were involved in what was almost a religious riot in 18th century Cornwall. One final thing. Which of the two Iluggan churchwardens was it that put his hat to Charles Wesley's mouth? Was it Abel Angove, a gentleman of Trevenzen, or was it William John, another gentleman who lived at Nance in Iluggan? Charles Wesley's diary says gentlemen. They weren't ordinary people, they were official, they were Anglicans acting on behalf of the rector of Iluggan. So two sides of a fascinating July 1743 tale.